Peace. Wait for some people to come into the room. Peace, sunshine. Peace. Oh man, it's cold. Peace, everybody. I had a reading, but they're taking too long, so I wanted to get on live before we go, so that y'all know what's going on. Welcome, everybody. Peace, Israel. Peace, Cam. Hey, Queen. Whew. Oh, just want to be in my video for yeah, so y'all see the title, that we have to leave the place that we are at. We were asked to leave, so now Rambo and I and Zen are packing up, and we don't know where we're going. We're just gonna get what we can and just figure out what we're going to do. They're basically, because like, you know how I am, I'm not the type that will put people's business out, you know, on social media, especially for them not to be here to defend their self, because in every story there's two sides. But it just wasn't a right fit for us and a right fit for the person that, you know, we were staying with. And so they was just like, you gotta go, and we was just like, okay, you know. It just wasn't a good fit, you know. Rambo and I had certain expectations, and they had certain expectations, and those were not the same expectations. You know, just pretty much, you know. But in everything that you go through, you gotta take responsibility and learn. Like, you can point the finger and you can say, you know, this person did this and they shouldn't be like that. But at the end of the day, they are. So, you know, you can't change people, just like people can't change you. And that's the one thing that I learned, you know. And I don't, it's like a part of me wants to look at this like, damn. But then the other part of me is just like, you know what? This isn't the fit for you. This isn't where you're supposed to be, because if it was, things would work out, you know, the way that they are supposed to work out. And this is the way that it worked out. So now it's like we got to continue on, and we got to just stay strong and focused and figure out our next step. Where we're going, him and I are just going to walk. And I think there's some hostels nearby. And I don't know if y'all familiar. I don't know if y'all familiar with hostels, because I don't think in the States they have them. If they do, I've never heard of them. But it's just like a hotel, but it's like cheaper than a hotel. We're going to go there and just, you know, put out some ads and then just get into another situation. Yeah, everything happens, you know, for a reason. Well, Nita Griffin, I'm aware that I just had a baby, but when I said the expectations is that, you know, we came here to do a job, and the job that we thought we were going to do was not what he wanted. He, you know, so, but you have to go. It's like, it's just that simple. Like, and so we can't force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. I love myself. So can you be a little bit more transparent? I am being transparent. Like, I'm telling, like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not the type to be putting other people's business on Front Street, if they're not here to defend themselves. I can tell you about me. I'm telling you about, me, but I don't ever do that. Since most of y'all been following, y'all know I never do that. I just don't. Like, I have my opinions about, here, but I'm just not going to put that shit out on social media just so y'all can know the biz. Like, I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is tell you that we're leaving. I'm letting you know on our side that She, Bad, and Bougie, that was a job. That was like a job. You're not being disrespectful. That, like, the type of jobs here is like, it's not necessarily for pay. You can do a woofing or a work trade for, like, a place to live, for food or for money. So that's what that was. But for this one, it was particularly just for us to have a place to stay. There's hostels in Florida. Okay, yeah, because I had never heard of hostels. So, like I said, we're going to go and go to a hostel. We're going to get there and go to a hostel and then figure out our next step of what we're going to do. Someone said, can you go back with Flow and Vibes? They're in a situation too, to where they're at a work trade. So it's not like we could be like, oh, we're just gonna go be with them. No, it's not up to them. It's what I'm saying. So, and they're actually like 2 hours away. So it's not like we can just jump in a car and go where they are. That's their situation that they're in. So, but me and Rambo, we'll figure it out. No, we can't go back to where we were before. That was temporary. Yeah, so, no, we're not leaving Hawaii. No, we're not leaving Hawaii. No, we're just leaving the place that we were in. But now we're leaving, and so we're just trying to figure it out. And at first I was kind of apprehensive about whether or not I wanted to come on camera and talk about it, because I'm just like, oh, fuck, like, we don't have nowhere to go. What we gonna do? But y'all follow us for the ups and for the downs. Particularly probably for the downs. A lot of y'all just here just to watch. But then I know a few of y'all actually are really concerned and care. So that's why I wanted to put that out there. But for the most of y'all, I know y'all just being nosy. That's really just to see what we're going to do. And that's okay. Because I'm a public figure. I'm on social media. So I'm not taking it personal. And it's actually quite interesting that Rambo and I are going through this, because a lot of y'all are going through situations in your life right now, and you don't see the upside to it, or you feel like you're stuck, or you feel depressed or whatever. But, at the end of the day, you'll be all right. Like, at the end of the day, you still have yourself at the end of the day. At the end of the day, there's always going to be people that's going to show up and that's going to support you and help you. And opportunities just going to come out of nowhere. But you have to believe that. You got to keep going. And sometimes life will put you in a situation to see what you're made of. And I think this past 2 years, that's what I've been going through. Like, what are you made of? What are you made of? And even in this situation, like, a part of me feels like I just want to, like, give up. Like, fuck, not again. Okay. But that's what I always do. And when shit don't go my way, or when things get a little hard, the first thing I want to do is just give up. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. I really just want things to be perfect. But that's not life. Life is not perfect at all. Like, like, just like how we're perfect, need to work on it. And life always puts you in a situation to make you work on it, and so yeah, just don't take your life for granted. That's all I say. That's what I always look at. Like, don't take my life for granted, and just take responsibility for everything that comes into your life. I can point the finger, but I'm responsible for everything that comes into my life. And I also have a child too. So that's something that I take in consideration, that I'm going to do what I have to do, because now I'm a mother. It's not like I can just go out here and just figure it out and wing it, but in this situation, we're going to have to come up with something and figure it out, or do what's best, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, tuck our pride, you know, away and be like, okay, but we're not going to give up, you know. Let me see. So, because that's just the way that this person, I think this person just had, some mother said, why such an abrupt leave? I feel like what we went through with this person didn't have anything to do with us. Like, really. Like, this, you know, I feel like he had experiences, because I even said it, and he was just like, yeah, you're right. And I said, I understand. Okay, we're back. The connection was back. So, yeah, I see how there's more people coming in the room. Just go back and watch the video when I turn it off, and then you can find out why did you Rambo fight. No, me and Rambo is right here. Did you have anything to say, Rambo? Yeah. I am cold.
Well, I was gonna ask you, what did you learn from the situation, like this situation?
What did I learn from the situation is that communication, clear communication is key, and that you just have to just be very careful and look at the signals of what people aren't saying. You know what I mean? Because it's like, communication is big, because people can say one thing but they mean another thing. But if you make sure the communication is clear on your part, you don't have to be concerned or feel responsible for how the other people respond or didn't respond. You know. Yeah. That's what I learned.
Yeah, because you know, and then you gotta realize, like, people, like you were saying, like, the other day, I think you were saying, a lot of the reason why people act the way they do is because as a child they were never allowed to basically be themselves, you know. So they're kind of suppressing the part of themselves that they truly are to try to be something that people will be accepting of. Like you know, someone might be a certain way, or they might be very abrupt and upfront, and that's who they are, but they might have been taught at an early age to suppress that because whatever their parents didn't think that was right, or they were taught a different way, you know. So it's like people are acting a certain way, suppressing who they truly are, not knowing that it's okay to be who they truly are, you know. And that's what we were talking about with Zen, about letting him be who he truly is, you know, letting him be who he truly is, so that he don't have to hide and be something else and try to cover up something that he is to try to please other people, you know, because at the end of the day it's going to come through in some way or another, you know. And like, it's just like, even if you're like an asshole, like just be an asshole, like that's who you are. Like it like, don't try not to be, because you're going to be still an asshole, but it's just going to come out in a different way. And it's just like, you know, it's okay to be who you are, as long as you're upfront about it, and as long as you allow that energy to come through, because you can't stop that energy anyway. It'll come through in a different way. But from this particular situation, what I learned is to align yourself, or put yourself in a situation with people who value what you do and what you're about. Like, you can't change people. Like, if people like to be a certain way, they like to live a certain way, like, that's who they are. You can't come in and try to change people. But what you can do is you can get with people who have similar values than you do, who like to live a certain lifestyle in a certain way that you do. That way it'll be a more of a fit, you know. And you could, I guess what we could have done in this situation, we could have been more observant, or we could have acted on things like, oh, we saw something and we're like, nah, that's not kind of in accordance to what we're about. And we could have like been more diligent about taking action on it. Like, you know, actually we'll pass on this. You know, we could, you don't have to take the first thing that comes to you if it's not a fit for you. So know what you want and know who you are and how you move. And you don't have to compromise that. You just have to find a situation that fits that. So I think in this situation, what the universe was doing by letting us go is telling us that we were compromising because we were in a situation that wasn't in alignment with who and what we are, you know. And you don't have to compromise who you are. You just have to find a situation that fits who you are, that way you'll live in harmony, basically in balance, because otherwise it'll come to a situation like this where like you have to part ways, you know.
Yeah. Hold on. I know, I'm like, if you don't get out my life. Yeah. So, hey, Princess Divine, we are in Kona right now. So I know that you are in Hilo. So yeah. So I was gonna say something, but a lot of people was just like, why don't you go home? You know, why don't you? Somebody said, please restart the video. For you, you want us to start the video for you? Like, everybody keeps saying, why don't you go home? Why don't you go home? And it's kind of like, that's my subconscious mind playing with me, because it's like, the first thing people want you to do is just give up. Like, and that just shows you, I'm thankful, Alicia, to give up when things don't go the way that you plan. Yeah. Now, eventually, sometimes you might have to make that decision and, like, you know what, put your pride aside and start over. But that shouldn't be the first thing that you want to do, is just give up because things don't go the way that you want them to go. When things don't go the way that you want them to go, sometimes you got to rethink. Sometimes you got to do things differently. You know, maybe the way you're thinking needs to change. You know, and if somebody said, well, didn't you learn this lesson when you was with Nature Boy? Obviously not. If we're in the same situation again, life will keep putting you in the same situation until you learn, until you grow. That's just the way life is. And anytime you go through something, you got to look at it, you know, in an objective way. You can't be subjective and, you know, get in your feelings about it, because that's not going to help you or help the situation or help anybody that's involved. It is what it is, you know.
Somebody said, like, you should, like, start something for yourself so you don't have to be in the situation. And of course, like, that's exactly what I want to do. That's what we are doing, you know. But the thing is, like, in the midst of that, like, we need at least a place to start that, you know. You don't just start that out of thin air and from one day to another you're in a situation where you have all your own shit, you know. You need like a foundation, a little jump start, a place to root yourself a little bit so that you can create something. So that's all we've been looking for. We just been looking for an opportunity, you know, a chance to really unravel our gifts and our talents and make that into something tangible that we can you know, create a situation where we don't have to depend on nobody. We don't want to depend on nobody. We want to be self-sustained, but nope. Most people, I would say, they come into the situation where they inherit something, or somebody gives them a jump start, but we're not in that situation. We just came with, like, we're starting from ground zero, scratch. I'm talking about nothing, and we're rising out of that. And in the midst of that, we do need a place to stay so we can establish that, you know. So it's not like as that simple, but absolutely that will be what we'll do in the future, is create a situation where we don't have to depend on nobody, we don't have to rely on nobody, you know. And all that we ask for in this moment in time is a place to set that up at, you know. And so that's what we've been trying to find, you know. We really don't like being a nuisance to people. We don't like being a burden to anybody. Absolutely not, you know. And we offer our fair share in exchange for anything that we get. Like we offer whatever talent, services, abilities, skills that we have. Like, we're like, look, this is what we could do for you. Like, use me. So it's because you're offering me something, let me offer you something. It's a give and take. We're never just trying to take, you know. But it's just like a energy mismatch, you know, incompatibility in this situation. So we got to move on, you know. We got to find something that is more of a match, something that it could be more long term, that could give us the time to set a foundation for ourselves in as far as starting a business or trying to start something for ourselves where we don't have to rely on people, you know. So that's just where we're at, you know. That's just the situation we're in.
Yeah. I'm cold. It's like cold. It is like cold here. Like, I'm sitting here like, oh shit. Yeah, I was just reading the comments and stuff. Yeah, like, cause like people keep saying like, y'all, you can go home to regroup. That is an option, but that's not the first option. Like I don't think Rambo and I are opposed to going back to the States, but before we do that, we want to make sure that we did all that we could do before we just be like, I'm just going to go back, because then you're just going to be relying on other people. So it's just like we're relying on other people here, we're relying on other people there. You can't, you know what I mean? And so when all of our options and everything that we could possibly do doesn't work, then, going back to the States is a possibility. But that's not the first thing we want to do. We're good, for the time being. And then when we're not good, we have to figure some things out, But I know for me, I want to keep going. I want to, see what I'm made of. And as long as my baby is safe and he's warm and he's good, then I'm good. When that time comes when that's not the case, then mama got to do what mama got to do,
We'll always be good. We'll always be straight. It's just our mind can trick us into feeling fearful, or feeling like things aren't going to work out, or things aren't going to go good, but if you look back in your life, you always made it through, you always survived, you always got what you needed, you always have food, it's always good, you just got to look at it in the right way. Right now it's just not aligned for us to be here, and that's why would you want to be in a place like that, So it's like the universe is forcing you, bro, you got to leave. It's not a good place for you. It's not compatible with who you are. So let's move on and let's find you somewhere where it is compatible, somewhere where you do have the opportunity to help somebody who appreciates what you are doing, what you are bringing to the table, and doesn't look at it as a burden, So that's just what it is. It's different perspectives, different ways of being, different lifestyles, and you just got to find something that's compatible with you.
Yin Yang, that was a job.
And plus, to have a job, you need to have somewhere to stay, and it's just people don't get it. They think that we just out here bullshit, and it's not just that simple as you go out and get a job. You need somewhere to stay in the meantime while you do find a job. But out here, how it works is that typically people will offer you a place to stay in exchange for work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just what we've been doing.
Sunderland Karma. Yeah, I do have PayPal. It's in the description box. Yeah, and I want to thank everybody that has been donating, and also, especially with my readings, people have been giving me donations for that. And I really appreciate it, because now it's going to really help, us get to where we need to get to, right now. So it's we continually doing things, to create an income versus just asking for donations. I've been doing 4 or 5 readings a day. Right now I should be doing a reading, but the person took too long for their appointment, and so that's why I got on live, so everybody will know. And I got readings. I also have readings that I got to do. So regardless if I'm going through this situation, I'm still going to be here for you. My life has become, for the world to see, and I'm not going to, yeah, go ahead. They're clearly not paying attention to what I just said. I'm not going to stop. And I think that's what the universe is showing me. When you are in a situation, are you... Oh, somebody said post the PayPal. Are you gonna give up? And so as long as I have internet connection, I'll still do the readings that I have scheduled today. Yeah. Oh, somebody... Oh, the PayPal is in the description box. Yeah. The readings is donation based, so, I don't have a fee to it. Everybody pays me different, different.
Yeah. And also I was going to say, some of the skills that I have, they kind of involve a computer and stuff, so that's why I haven't really been able to put myself out there, because we don't have a computer. The computer we were using was Flow, so he kept the computer. So, that's another thing, like I said, we're starting from scratch. So even to access the skills and make money off of the skills that I have to have a computer. In order to have a computer, I have to have money. In order to have money, I have to be settled somewhere and working and just have somewhere to stay, so it's it all works and kind of snowballs after that. But we need that initial, start. So that's just what we've been looking into getting and trying to get ourselves rooted in, so that we can get a computer. I have a lot of things that I could do and that I want to do and I will do, but it's all as long as I get the things that I need to do that.
Yeah. Oh, they said post the Oh, Princess Divine Flow and Vibes is in Pahoa. That's where they are.
Oh yeah, they in Pahoa.
Yeah, Princess Divine is I think she's in Hilo, I think. Oh, okay.
Yeah, somebody else posted.
Oh, that's thank you 666 Carbon. Oh yeah, we don't have a Cash App yet. We're in the process of getting one. So yeah. Oh, okay, Rich Fruits. If you message me for a reading, then it's still, the message is still there. It's just that I have a lot of people that want it, so I'm just doing it as they come. But if I didn't respond because I don't want to miss your message, so I just leave the messages the way that they are until I'm ready to schedule more appointments.
Yeah.
So right now I'm booked for today and Monday, but I'm probably gonna have to hold off before scheduling any more to see, what we're gonna be doing. But at least for the ones that I have scheduled, I'm anticipating on still doing your readings. Just walking and talking. Yeah, so a lot of people are coming in here asking the same question. That's fine. Just when we get off the live, just go back and watch it, and you can see what's going on. So, yeah, I know that. Yeah, I see that you're just joining, so we just don't really feel like repeating ourselves. Oh, what kind of computer do you need? Like, what do you like, a laptop? A laptop will be...
Yeah, I mean, just like I work with Apple computers, so it's like that's all of my software and stuff is on that. So that's what I use.
But like a laptop?
Yeah, I guess a laptop. Yeah,
That would
because
be
we're on the go. Like right now, we're letting go of a lot of stuff. Like we had. Like, we can't take a lot of stuff that we had with us that we just got. Some stuff we haven't even used. Like, even baby clothes and stuff. Some of it
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, but we got to leave it behind because we can't carry all this stuff around. Like, we can't lug it around because we don't have a car. So we just have to, we're walking, so it is what it is. We know we'll get it back. Eventually, the universe will give it back to us. We'll get it back in some way. But, so yeah, laptop because it's more portable. So yeah, if I could get that, shit, I could do a lot with that. Like I could edit videos, I do audio, work with music, make beats, anything that has to do with advertisements, graphic design, Adobe, Photoshop, Illustrator, all of that. It's just
because you had a laptop, but you weren't allowed to take it when we had left.
Yeah,
or you had a computer.
When I went to Costa Rica when I went to carbonation or melanation at that time, I had like a big ass 27-inch iMac that was like a really dope ass computer. Like I really look hard and try to find it, before I left so I can use that, but I wasn't allowed to take it when I had to leave. So, I had everything on there. I had all my software and it was a really good computer, but. So we don't have a computer right now.
Yeah, so yes, everybody's like, you want to? Now, do you need a MacBook, or do you need Apple, or can you work on any other type?
Not really. It has to be Apple because that's just all the software that I use is like on Apple, and it's just a better like software for me. Like that's the software that I can use.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. Yeah, so, let me see. Oh.
Hey, baby.
Yeah.
What is you doing?
Yeah, you okay? And the baby just chilling.
I know, he's up for the live.
Yeah.
Hey. Hi.
Yeah, our mother sway. I think the computer that he had was refurbished. It wasn't a brand new computer.
Yeah, that computer that I actually got it used, but the guy who had ordered it, he had hooked it up to where it was really like a good computer. Like he just upgraded all the specs on it, so it was a really good computer, and I was really grateful to have found that. And so I took it with me because I was like, I'll put a bunch of software on there, I put a bunch of stuff to make beats, and I just put a lot of energy into that. And so that was my little baby,
Yeah.
a computer. Like if I have that, like I could do a lot with that. But right now, it's like I don't have a computer. Like for me, a lot of the stuff that I do, like creatively and just to make money and stuff comes through technology. So when I don't have that, it's like, I mean, I still can exist. Like, I'm not like fiending for a device, but it's like it helps a lot just to have like a computer or some type of thing that I can even make a Craigslist post with. Like even right now, like trying to make a Craigslist post or just do something.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard because we don't have a computer.
Yeah. Oh, people are asking. Oh, yeah, woman down. You can send me a message, asking us what we need right now. I mean, if you wanted to support us, and help us, like money, like that's somebody said they want to send us stuff, but we don't have an address to. Well, I do have an address, but I don't want to keep bombarding my friends with stuff. And then like I said, like we're transitioning, so the last thing we need is more stuff to look around. The baby has everything he needs. Rambo and I have everything we need. Like we don't need anything. Just some money to just get us from point A to point B. Because I know once we put the ad on Craigslist, like for the work trade, like people are going to respond quickly. Like it's just that we tried to put it on last night, but like you said, we don't have a computer, so it was a little challenging to set it up. So we're not like worried. It's just we just like, okay, we just got to do what we need to do, and then we'll get into another situation that will be beneficial. I just want to make sure that for the time being we have shelter, like the baby, make sure he's good. And I'm so thankful that I breastfeed, because it's like if I had to do formula and all that stuff, that's more expense. But breastfeeding and it just really helps out a lot, where you don't have to be concerned, about food. The only thing I need to be concerned with is making sure I'm eating, and drinking, enough water, for him or whatever. Somebody asked how cold it is. You know what? I don't really know how cold it is, because I got on this coat. But when the sun is not hitting you, it's cold. It feels like in the 50s or 60s. But when the sun's hitting you, it's like it's hot. It's like you can literally feel it's like 70 and 80 degrees. So it's just a weird temperature. I think it's their dry season or their winter here in Hawaii. And so it's just like, it's like cold. Like me and Rambo keep chasing the cold, because when we was in Mexico, it was cold. And now that we're here in Hawaii, it's been cold since Zen been born. Like when he was born, like he brought in the cold, and so yeah. And right now, like the sun is not hitting where we're staying, so it's like a little cold. But the baby, he's wrapped up, about to get him. He's over sitting in his chair now.
He's like all finished.
Yeah.
Ready to get carried now.
Yeah.
He wants to be in the live, that's why.
Oh, he wants to be in the live?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he's smiling. See? He wanted to be like, hello. Yeah, and like Zen is so awesome, because now he's at that point to where he's alert, he's smiling, he be playing with me and Rambo. Look at him, he's smiling now. Like
hey.
Like,
he's just charming
like,
for the camera.
Yeah, like he's just he's getting older, and he's starting to have more expression. Like yesterday, he was playing with me and Rambo, like making noises, and we both were making noises, and we was just going back and forth with him. And then like he's smiling and he's laughing. So like, yeah, it's just he just keeps me going. You all good? You good?
Let me make sure I'm carrying the mic. People will be on me.
Oh yeah, like, and in his neck, he's just getting stronger. Like he's holding his own neck up. Every once in a while, he might swoop and let me know that he still needs support. But like 3 months, like a lot goes on, and I think he's already starting to teething. Because he's like slobbering a lot, and the midwife said when that's happening, because they're getting ready for their teeth. So I'm like, oh my gosh, he's already growing up. Like, I can't, But yeah, Zen is doing good. As long as he's good, I'm good.
As long as they're good, I'm good.
Aw, give me a kiss. Yeah.
But yeah.
And I also think the situation like the way things are turning out, it's also like showing you and me like what we're made of together.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because it's like everything's a reflection of you, and I feel like everything that you and I've been going through is a reflection of our relationship. Like, we're trying to figure it out and try to, you know, because everything, how we got started was in a particular situation. Mm-hmm. And so now that it's just you and me and nobody else, like, even when it was just me, you, and Flowing Vibes, that still was a different situation. And so now you and I, like, we have to learn each other, but then we also have to, like, learn ourselves and who we are and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the situation is just showing us, like, how strong our bond is. Like, you know, is this really real? Can you and I really do this together? You know, and I feel like, you know, if we do, it says a lot about you and me. But even if it didn't work out that way, I just feel like sometimes situations put you in a situation to where you have to make a decision that maybe you should have made, but you didn't want to. And so I look at this situation in our life in so many ways. Everything's a learning experience and everything's a lesson. But you never have to give up. You just have to do something different. And so, you know, that's what I was also thinking. I was just like, okay, like, you know, me and Rambo's relationship, we're evolving and growing and figuring out. And so with you and I being the type of energies that we are, like, you and I are very strong and we can deal with a lot. And so I guess, you know, this situation is showing us, are you going to stick together? And if you are, what are you going to do? Because what I learned with myself is that I can sometimes be a little bit, you know, too independent. And it's like I sometimes have to trust you and just let you take the lead, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. Like, it is putting us in a situation where we got to, like, really connect and be on the same page and, like, so we can move forward and get what we need, you know, because it's like if we're thinking two different ways, or if it's not operating in a way that's balanced or that's in harmony, it's not going to go well, you know. Like, we have to be in the same mind state and allow each other's energies to move in a way that'll allow us to give us the best outcome, you know, because if I try to suppress your energy or you try to suppress my energy and we don't know how to work with each other's energy, it's like it's not going to be a harmonious state, you know. And I think this situation is just like, if we're just moving on from it, and like it is a reflection in a way of us, you know, but how we deal with it is more so a reflection of us, you know, because now we're moving forward, because I didn't think we needed to be here anyways, you know. We just gotta stay strong and stick together.
You didn't feel good about it once we had came and looked at it, and you was just like, this is not what was said or whatever.
But sometimes, you know, you like, oh, for the time being, like, we'll stay here, or you think like, you know, it'll do for now, but you know, at the same time, you gotta learn to not settle. And it's not even about, it's more about like values and what you value, you know. Like, look, I value, like, say, cleanliness. I value organization. I don't want to be in anything other than that. And when you compromise that, the universe is going to show you, like, look, like, it's not a fit, because, like, eventually you're going to want to go against that energy that's, like, has that stagnant energy and that, you know, like that. And in that way, you know, it's just, for me, it's just a good thing, because I'm excited to find where we do have a compatibility at, you know, where we will be compatible. I'm excited for that, you know. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not looking at it as a loss. I'm looking at it as a positive thing.
Yeah, and, you know, and this is the reason why because people say, don't cry. Don't worry about my tears. This is how I express myself. So y'all know that. But I guess I'm just tearing up because I think about a lot of people that really want to live their life in a particular way, but because they're afraid to grow or transformation or don't want to be uncomfortable, people stay in situations too long, and people are living very unhappy lives. And so I think about that. So even though we're going through this, and it is a little challenging, it's just like I'm not going to give up, and I don't want to give up for the people that won't even, you know, start. You know what I mean? And then I also think about I hate failing, and I hate to feel like I failed. But then sometimes I have to take it at the chin and be like, you know what, I was wrong. And then that's why I said to Rambo, like, I look at a lot of the situations that we're in as a reflection of our relationship, but I can also see my part where I wasn't being cooperative, or we wasn't, together, for whatever resistance that I put on the path. So I just, always take responsibility. Sometimes I shouldn't take responsibility, but that's just the way that I'm in life. To be in control of the situation is take responsibility and not point the finger at other people, because when you point the finger at other people, there's 3 other fingers pointing at you. So, I just own up to my shit, and that's the only thing, that I can do, because this situation here is just symbolic to my life, symbolic to his life. It has nothing to do with the people. Like, everything you've seen us go through has nothing to do with anybody but ourselves. You can't blame anyone. It's just that everybody in your life is symbolic to parts of yourself that you need to grow, or you need to, acknowledge, or you need to love and accept, So that's the reason why I guess y'all say I'm not transparent, because I can sit here all day and tell y'all a whole bunch of shit that has went down with me, that somebody done to me, in this past 2 years. Like, a lot. I went through a lot, and I can tell you a lot, but that's not going to help me become my greater self, or my higher self that I'm striving to be. And just like with this situation here, I look at this situation just as another catalyst to show me what I'm made of, and what I need to let go. I just take full responsibility, of that. I mean, you can look at it the way that you want, but that's just what got me through life, and to keep going and keep moving. Yeah. So, just little hacks on his head. And so, like, when I cry sometimes, it's just like somebody said, it is a release. It's just like, okay, I let go. I give in, universe. What do you need from me? What do you need me to do? What I need to pay attention to? You know what I mean? And when I do that, things open up, and it's all good. I'm not afraid to be vulnerable in front of people. That's the one thing I learned. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to be human. Just don't. Like, sometimes things aren't going to go your way, but, feel how you want to feel about it. But then get up and do what you got to do. Like, you know what I mean? And sometimes you got to put your pride aside, and I don't want to say deal with just stuff that goes against your integrity. Make sure you're not doing something that goes against your morals and your integrity. But sometimes you do have to put your pride aside to do what you need to do to get what you need to get in order to have what you want to have. My shoe. In order to have what you want to have. So, so yeah, because this experience, I say, so far, it's like, I would have never thought that I would be in Hawaii. I would have never thought that I would be really trusting in the universe to provide. I always relied on certain things, and I always wanted to be comfortable, and my boat couldn't rock. But it was like, I decided to take on this part of my journey, and now it's just like I'm living day by day, moment by moment. And you just never know what's going to happen. The only security you have is the security you have within yourself and your own ability. You can't rely on other people. You can't rely on nothing but yourself to know that you want to do what you need to do at the end of the day. So, yeah.
So many comments I didn't even read.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't even looking at... Okay, hold on. Yeah. Yeah, everybody keeps saying you need to get a job. That's what we're doing. That's what this was. It's like, it's not like...
Yeah, I don't think they understand how it kind of works here in Hawaii.
Like this was a job.
Like, here in Hawaii, it's like, say you got a job at, like, some restaurant or at a store, you would never be able to make rent in a place, you know, like those jobs are like for people who already kind of inherited a home or something like that, or have somewhere to stay with somebody. But like most how it works here, if you need a place to stay, you got to find a place that, like a farm or something, that'll hire you to put in a couple, like 20 hours a week or more on the farm to have a place to stay. Like otherwise you're not going to be able to pay your way from a regular job here to have a place to stay, because it's just too much. Like it doesn't balance out. Like the amount that they're going to pay you is not going to balance out with how much your rent's going to be. That's just how it works here. It's like, it's called work trade, and people, that's how they work, you know.
Yeah. What Neb, you said how you consider trying to work. We work. This was a work away. Like this is what this was. So it's like, I know y'all don't understand because y'all not in Hawaii, but this is ever since being here. Excuse me, we've been working. Like, not necessarily me, because at the beginning, like I was just getting my health and me and the baby back together. But Rambo was working. That's what we would do. That's what he was doing on the farm, like working. Like you just not there, you know, just to hang out. And then we came to this opportunity, and it was to manage like the Airbnbs and the property and stuff. So we were working. It's just that now we got to find something else to do, and so that's why we're going to get back on Craigslist and, you know, see another situation. But there's so many situations here. There's so many opportunities here. Like you can work on the farm. You can help people with their Airbnbs. You can actually go be at someone's home and teach them how to cook. Like there was one ad, I think it was Vibes that saw it, to where the people want to be vegan, and so they wanted somebody to come stay with them and cook vegan food for them. Like it's all different types of situations, to where you can either get shelter, or you can get shelter and food, or you can get shelter, food, and possibly a car. It's just that the way that they do it here, it's like the barter system. It's like, if you give me this, I give you that. Like, and so that's what me and Rambo like about it, that, you know, we can still do what we want to do, because it's not like a 9-to-5 job where you're working 8 hours. It's just a few hours of your time. And so that's why we like to hear, because it's like we help people out, but then we can also, you know, create something for ourselves as well. And so so now, you know what we're going to do. We're just going to go to a hostel and stay there a couple of nights, and then go from there, like, you know, and find another, you know, situation for us. We just have to either get on a computer, or I don't know what the holdup is or what happened, but we just need to do that just so we can get to where we need to get to next. I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on, and that's what I want to do. It's like, this is being transparent. I'm letting you know what's going on. I'm just not, you know, I'm just not being like, oh, it's all good. No, I'm going to show you the good, bad, and the ugly, and the beautiful, because this is, you know, part of my transformation, and y'all going along right with me. Oh, look at his face. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, look at you. You acting like you can see yourself in the camera.
I know. He looks like he's looking at himself.
Yeah. Vibes, you in the comments. Yeah. Oh, he's so precious. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Try to find a hostel that has a computer so we could make posts and connect and do what we got to do to put ourselves out there and to find another opportunity, you know? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we should probably wrap this up, because we got to get going, and we got to figure out, you know, what direction to walk and, you know, and how to get there. But, you know, we're going to figure it out next time you see us. Hopefully we have a better... He's reading the comments. Yeah, somebody said Zen's reading the comments. You would think so. That's what he looks like he's actually looking at something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so... Hey, girl.
Hey, Vibes.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm. All right. Hold on. Okay, we're about to go. Had to block one more person before I get off here. All right. I love you guys. And when we get to our destination, I will hit you up. Alright.
Yeah, we're not sure how long we need the Airbnb right now, but we're just gonna get it, or we're just trying to get a hostel for like a night. You know, it's the cheapest hostel we could find. Even that is gonna be like $70 a night. It's like $40 a pop per person. So it's not definitely it's not Central America, that's for sure. You know, so yeah.
Not at all. Okay. Alright. Love you guys.
All right.
Talk to you soon.